have our guests on the line. Not just any guests, 3-time Grammy Award winning artist, musician, songwriter, performer, just a wonderful human being and humanitarian. And of course, a friend to Capstar Radio, a friend to Irie Jam Radio as well. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness, make some noise. Gramps Morgan is on the line.
Yes, good morning, good morning.
Yes, Rasta. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Well, I'm a day on Kevin Crown. Majah Hype, good morning, sir.
Blessed love family. What's going on? That voice there, that voice there. Even though it's morning, you can still hear the oh Father, until not what. You still hear that voice there.
You gotta let your locks out, man.
You still hear the he's still loving me. You still hear it. Big up yourself, Gramps Morgan. Wagwan, brother.
So Gramps, I gotta say this before, because I know you know Kevin and you know Majah Hype. You don't know me personally, but I met you before. But my name is Vayne. I live in Barbados, and you were here about 3 weeks ago at Reggae in the Gardens, and I was the one who introduced you all on the stage. Shout out to Morgan Heritage and your son Jameer, who did a wonderful job on stage that day.
Oh. Yes, yeah, man. I remember you, man. Good to meet you.
No, you don't. He said, yeah. No, so just good morning to you. I just wanted to say that.
Gramps texted me. He was like, Kevin, y'all play the song them fast. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You know me, I rockers, Kevin, so it's like warm and easy.
Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry, bro. I'll be in juggling mode. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make the song them mix, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. We know it go, man.
Yeah, man. But, long time.
Turn down that background a little bit.
Yeah, matter of fact, I gotta put on something better for Gramps, man.
Well, everybody is talking about Back to Brooklyn. It is happening Saturday, June 29th. And of course, this is the Capstar family first, not the Irie Jam first, but a Capstar Radio first. So how do you feel about this show? And of course, it's also a part of your birthday celebration, a piece of your birthday celebration. But why was it important for you to call it, or for it to be called Back to Brooklyn?
Cause that's the city of my birth, that's where I was born. And, a lot of things that a lot of artists a lot of times don't really come back home. Of course, a lot of people identify Morgan Heritage family with St. Thomas, but we identify with several parts. Springfield, Massachusetts, where we went to school. But in Brooklyn, that's the place of our birth, stomping ground, grew up in a 12 tribe of Israel. Did so many things. Our recording studio was in Bushwick on Cornelia Street. So there's a lot of things that identify with Brooklyn. And in this time of, where we're going through mourning and trying to heal with the loss of my brother Peter, it's a thing where, I give thanks so much in this time for growing up as a Rasta man, because there's a certain militancy that comes with that culture and that faith and that sense of spirituality. So that's what's really helping us push through and talking about these days. When we're on tour bus and talking about, when we move on from this flesh, from this realm, that our children have to carry on, and we pray that the work that we leave on this earth will live on. And it's our duty to carry on the legacy of my brother Peter. I know that my siblings, but more importantly, the remaining members of Morgan Heritage. So, one of the things I want to share also when my father passed away 2 years ago, he asked me to make sure no matter what you're doing, Gramps, make sure you're doing solo songs and doing your solo performance, because there's something different about that. And as the time passed, I grew and been touring with people like Buju, Taurus Riley, India, John Legend, and I've just been learning. So this Back to Brooklyn event, I want to big up Bobby Clark for even seeing the vision to say, let's do something at Brooklyn. It's not too big. It's going to be a Crown Hill theater. So that's a big thing. It's just like a close and intimate and celebrating my birthday,
I love that.
That sounds like people need to get their tickets now, because that means that it's limited tickets. So, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you go and get your tickets for this event. Gramps Morgan, like he said, is Gramps Morgan and friends. So he's doing his solo thing, and you heard a couple of the tracks before we joined him in on the conversation. And like he said, there's a lot of mourning in not just in the family, Gramps, but also also in the culture, in the reggae industry. I mean, Morgan Heritage as a whole has contributed so much to, you know, the culture and just being a part of, you know, reggae music and winning Grammys and, you know, making us proud on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, every time we hear that those authentic voice, that's one thing about Morgan Heritage, right? Like you could hear certain artists and you could be like, well, who that? Oh, is that such and such, or is that you? You see the domination and the authenticity of your voice and also Peter Morgan's voice. Rest in peace, Peter, my brother. You know, to hear that voice, you know, it's just like a sense of richness and culture. So me personally, I recommend, I command everyone to go and get your tickets because trust me, it's going to be crazy. Back to Brooklyn. And a lot of people didn't even know that you was actually born in Brooklyn. They think, you know, yeah, Jamaica, but, you know, Bushwick, you know?
Yeah, man, right in the Rotten Road City forever. Home. Yes. No place like home. Yeah. And it's going to be something special because we still have a lot of family in Brooklyn, still have a lot of family in Massachusetts and the New England area. You know, my sister Yvette Morgan, Dr. Yvette Morgan, big up yourself, and my sister Saridia. It's just still a lot of family. My family that's still living at Bushwick, Charles Itamar, my niece and my nephew, them. So when we say back to Brooklyn, it's that kind of thing where we're going to come in to celebrate. Even in August, we plan to do something at Central Park as well. So just stay tuned to the family, and I'm just really excited and thankful for Bobby Clark for having the vision to say, all right, an event like this is necessary. Come and celebrate your birthday. And like I said, I was on the Bear Salmon cruise the other day, Major, and you know, it would just say like, okay, me, I'm mourning with my family.
Yeah.
But there's also a musical family that I haven't seen that
absolutely
has been 30 years. You know, people like you know in the media, the DJs, the Bobby Condas, the Jabbas, the Pat McKays, that whole, the Irish Jam family, DJ Rye, Oxtail, like that whole family, the Dub Master, like the whole musical family.
Absolutely.
We got a chance to embrace and say, yo, Jano, you know, because we kind of just been tucked away and kind of just healing. So just know I come out now when I get a chance to talk, but the militancy, like me saying, of the Rastafarian culture, we know say a fallen soldier has gone, but him say before him pass, say, yo, make sure this happening now. So that's why you still see releases that were set a year ago that was scheduled, because we plan for life at least 6 months to a year in advance. You see the Bulby song called Solid Woman. These songs are released. You got Teodoro that's coming out with, you hear Peter singing in Spanish. These were projects that were set to go. And he said to us that, yo, no matter what, to make sure, want to continue and, yo, make sure that release, you know. And we just have an alliance that we know say, yo, the works have to continue from generation to generation. So we just finding the strength to really do so.
I could safely say that, you know, we all grieve that loss, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's unfortunate of the untimely death, but we also know that you are here and you're continuing the legacy, and we actually played a couple of the music. And I must say, one of the songs that I've heard sounds a little country, like a country reggae kind of.
Yeah, it's roots rock reggae. He always got a little country in there.
So let me know, because I know. All right, so me and Gramps is brethren outside of the industry, like brethren, like him can't call my phone, me can't call him phone, you know.
Yeah.
And I know that he was in Tennessee for a little while, right? Right, Gramps?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
So it looked like, you know, you went to the other side of the culture, and that which, you know, we created country music too, so don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But just give us a little insight on the different approach that you're taking in music, in the music industry real quick.
Well, for in the middle of the pandemic, we had a time to reflect, Majah Hype, you know, and say, okay, and challenge ourselves and say, you know, people started doing online broadcasts. You know, Tory Lanez was doing his radio thing online. You were playing radio, like, so a lot of talents were rediscovered, and a lot of people that had talent different from their day job got a chance to say, yo, I'm going to go back to school online. Boy, I'm going to try this. I'm going to start a baking business. that's what happened in the pandemic. For me, it was a time of reflection and saying, yo, may I hear that song in my head? Because it's part of our DNA. It's part of the ecosystem of Gramps. It's part of the ecosystem of every Caribbean artist and Caribbean home that on a Sunday when rice and peas are made, you was hearing Toots and the Maytals and the Paragons, and then you hear the Caradonians, and you also heard a Kenny Rogers song or a Charlie Brown or a Dolly Parton. So country music has always been a part of the Caribbean DNA. Even the banjo is an instrument where it comes from West Africa that made its way to the Caribbean and then started to make its way to the United States from the plantation them where the slaves them used to play music and that sound was there until it turned into blues and it got infectious with the juke joints and country music. And now even Beyonce, that's prominent. I mean, people are now calling me the king of country reggae music here in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm like, what? And they said, yeah, you're the king of country reggae music. And it's because the way I have brought it forward, even though it was done before with people like Christy Barber on a project, and Toots and the Maytals, dabbled with it on some songs with Willie Nelson. So it's really me that really come forward as an artist and say, hey, this is part of our DNA. We remember when country music was playing on a Sunday. So now Beyonce now even come forward now with a country R&B. So some of my media friends are calling me and say, yo, Gramps, it seems like you were ahead of the game in genres with country music. I know Beyonce, because she's so prominent, has making such a big splash. So I pray that my media people and my DJs, my soundman, them will take a chance and experiment and expand the music, which is reggae music and country music, which has been, now I'm doing shows with, country bands like Old Dominion and performing with, alongside this organization called Parrot Heads in Paradise, which is a Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville brand, and they're seeing me as say, yo, come in the place, and I'm playing for these people that have dispendable income with a Hawaiian shirt and a Rolex and flip-flops.
Exactly.
It's the whole Caribbean thing that it's not just Jamaica, but extend to the Bahamas, Grenada, Guyana. It's because it's that sound, Majah Hype. So I just pray that everybody see the vision and see what is possible.
Gramps, I have a question for you. You've done so much, especially to keep reggae music alive. I remember, way before I had locks, and I saw you and your whole family perform. And people, if you've never seen Morgan Heritage on stage, if you've never seen Gramps Morgan,
let's go up on YouTube and look on that.
Yo, when you guys said yes, Rasta, you couldn't tell me say I wasn't a Rasta man. You couldn't tell me. Listen. Top 5 performances, not just in reggae music, in all of music, was me watching you and your family sing. So thank you for your contribution. But my question is there anything musically that you haven't done that you plan on experimenting or expanding or expounding on?
That's a great question, Kevin Crone. I would love to do a gospel album. I would love to do a country album. I would love to do those 2 genres, and probably an R&B album, because we grew up on R&B. We grew up on Troop. We grew up on Guy. We grew up on Charlie Wilson when he was with the Gap Band. We grew up on Michael Jackson. These are the singers that we were listening to say, okay, how do we step up our game to become some of the best singers in the world? And that was the goal. We haven't accomplished that, but that was the way that I say the goal. That was the heights that was set to say, yo, we want to become some of the greatest singers that had impact the world. And Peter, my brother, was one of them. When I ended up touring with so many different artists and working so many different genres, I said, boy, this Virgin Peter, yeah. And even when I started touring with Bujo, and I was the opening act in 2010, I was only performing for 10 minutes, right? And I was not 10 minutes, it was 20 minutes. And I realized how hard my brother was working every night, because I was running out of breath at, 10, 15 minutes. But that's because the load was shared between myself and my brother Peter. But now you have to carry 4 or 5 songs. You realize the greatness of what it takes to be a lead singer. And it was a big lesson for me. And Buju was kind of like there in my corner, like, yo, you have to get fit and you have to get be with the thing. And it was just a part of my life that I said, yo, you really have to commend a lead singer. So that growth period for me made me understand what it takes to be a lead singer and the greatness of what it takes. So always studying some of the great singers until we discover people like Frankie Paul and Lucky Dube and Luciano and all these great singers, Toots and the Maytals, Steel Pulse. These are the influences that started to influence Morgan Heritage as a band, the Wheelers, because we studied the great bands before us. And here we are at the point of saying, yo, okay, now people are looking at us, the young bands like Raging Fire and, you know, all these little young bands around the world, Revolution and Soldier. So it's good to be here still and still making reggae music and representing Jamaica.
So real quickly, Vayne, hold on, real quickly. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go on eventbrite.com. June 29th is at the Crown Hill Theater. Make sure you get tickets. Make sure you keep it locked right here to Carib Star Radio. You could win tickets, possibly whatever it is. So, Vayne, go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask one last question, but the time is running out. So I'll ask the question quickly. So I know, obviously, Peter, RIP to your brother, Peter Morgan. And of course, we cannot bring him back. But I wanted to know how you feel seeing your son, like looking across the stage and seeing Jameer in that and singing his part, singing Peter's parts. How does that make you feel as his father? And of course, singing the parts of his uncle.
Oh man, I have to salute him first of all because it's an emotional task and a heavy task. Because for sure, my son Jameer could never be Peter Morgan, you know. So he's kind of just doing his family duties, his royal duties to the family to say, hey, we have to pick up, we got to heal, we got to carry on and let them know. Because when you hear me say Morgan Heritage to the year 3000 and beyond, it's not a joke thing, enough. Yeah, we want to institutionalize the name Morgan Heritage, that eventually you're going to see my great-grandson on the keyboard or up on the guitar or up on the drum, or one of the lead singers are doing background, because that's so serious. We take the music. So to see Jameer there standing, me almost feel sorry for him because it's such a heavy load to carry as a lead singer, because Peter was one of the greatest of all time. I can't say that without water in my mouth, because I didn't hear it, worked with the best, sang alongside the best. And for him, I'm just thankful for him and so proud of him that he had the guts to stand up in those shoes, to be able to go out there and so he can perform for the world and still carry on the legacy. So Jameer Morgan, big up yourself. I'm excited about what he's also doing. He just shot his new video with Damian Marley, a new song called Higher We Go, produced by Damian Marley. He's in the studio working on his new album with Damian. So I'm just proud of what he's doing and that he was able to fill those shoes in Barbados. And what's next to come, just stay tuned. We're going to continue, but Morgan Heritage till when? The year 3000 and beyond.
Yes. Hey.
And ladies and gentlemen, everybody that's in Brooklyn, everybody that's in New York City, everybody that's in the tri-state area, big up to everybody that's listening on 103.5 FM HD3, everybody in Connecticut, everybody in Newark, New Jersey, everywhere. This is your opportunity to see Morgan Heritage. Gramps Morgan live, you know what I'm saying, back to Brooklyn. And of course, it's the first Carib Star Radio event. It's going down June the 29th at the Crown Hill Theater. So make sure you do your due diligence and get your tickets right now. We got to take a quick break. I thank you, Gramps Morgan, for joining us this morning and getting up. I don't know if you're early riser or what. Big up the risers, them.
Yeah,
but, you know
but Majah, can you do me one favor?
Yes.
I know we got to go, but could you give me the Rastaman advice real quick and tell them to come out to the show on June 29th, please?
Well, I say greetings in the name of the Most High King Selassie. I say this is the Rasta me are telling us, June the 29th, you don't know everything all right. Make sure to pull up and make sure the place full up. You know the thing already. Gramps Morgan to the world. I want to you. And if you're in a mind shop, you come at the show, we take away your girl. I want to you. A mad thing. Mad.
Yeah, man.
But thank you so much for passing through the Caribbean Sunrise Morning Show. We know this won't be the last time, but certainly we appreciate you and your legacy and all that you've done for the culture, all that your family has done for the culture, and we cannot wait for June 29th to see you live.
Absolute. Thank you guys so much. Kevin Crown, Majah, big up yourself. Princess, enough love.
Big up.
All right.